Welcome to... Looks like you handled the commission without a hitch. Thank you, Miss Jahoda. Here is your payment.
See? Told you'd be fine. Not a bad payout either. Got any more quick Mora jobs like that?
I can certainly take a look. One moment, please.
Hey! Katheryn! Was that pendant over there used for posting a bounty?
It was indeed. You certainly have a sharp eye, Miss Jahoda. Mystery Haunty left it as collateral for a bounty request.
In that case, I'll take that one. Just give me the deets.
The only thing is, the reward for that one isn't all that high, and nowadays, pieces like this are not worth much either. I'm not sure it's the kind of job you're after, Miss Jahoda.
No worries. I'll take it. Let's call it a bit of charity work on the side. Gotta build up some good karma once in a while, huh?
Very well then. Please, wait a moment.
I mean, it's not like I've got much else to do right now. Can't just sit around playing with Ashru all day, can I? Boss Neff to boot me out in no time. Now that you're here, Traveler, Paimon, you two are pretty handy. Wanna join forces on this one? We could split the reward.
A commission, huh? You better ask her. She's the expert, after all.
Bet you it's nothing major. Trust me. Ihanti's way too much of a scaredy cat for it to be about anything serious.
Miss Jahoda, here are the details of Mr. Jahanti's commission.
Alrighty, let's see what that little whip's gone and...
What's up? Please don't say it's something super difficult.
Nah, nothing like that. Just didn't expect a guy who couldn't even bring himself to hurt a fly to go posting life or death commissions like this. You? Sure. Couldn't be more by the book if you tried, huh? Relax, I'm just messing with you. It only mentions retrieving something from a bunch of crooks. To a crook, money is life, and life is money. That makes it a matter of life or death. Am I right? Come on, follow me. Pretty sure I can handle those punks by myself. Odds are, you won't even have to lift a finger.
Here you go, Lady Nefer. The book you were looking for.
Let me see. Would you look at that? Finally, an actual copy of The Man Who Became a Mule.
Yeah! Nefer doesn't seem like the kind of person who takes commissions. More like the kind who dishes them out. Hey! If you start taking work from Nefer, there'll be none left for Jahoda! Still, what sort of job is Nefer delegating to the Adventurers Guild? Paimon's kinda curious.
Not bad. This is exactly what I was looking for. The Adventurers Guild must have quite the impressive network tracking down a long-lost story like this.
Well, that's all thanks to our hard-working adventurers. There were quite a few setbacks along the way, but in the end, we managed to find a collector in Snezhnaya who had a copy.
How ironic that a story about the desert would end up somewhere like Snezhnaya. Well, thank you for your efforts. I'll send over the payment as promised. Also, Mr. Sarin, please keep this commission active and raise its priority level. I'll cover the additional fee as well.
Not a problem. It's our honor to do business with you, Lady Nefer. If you'll excuse me, I'll go get everything sorted.
My business is done, you two. You can come out and ask your questions. I know you're curious.
You even heard what Paimon said? Huh. Guess that's what makes you the boss.
Something like that. It's more like a long-term partnership I have with the Adventurers Guild. Come, let's head back to the curatorium for a cup of tea. This isn't the best place for sharing stories.
Just what will we...
What a loser. Guy's so broke he doesn't have a single thing worth taking.
Yo!
Who goes there? Well, well, well. If it isn't Jahoda. What brings you here, Pipsqueak?
Relax. No biggie. Word has it, you swiped something from a man called Ihanti a few days back. That true? Here. Take some cash and cough up the goods. I'm feeling generous today, so let's call this me buying you off.
Look at you, acting all civilized. Guess that's what happens when you've got Nefer to watch your back, huh? Suppose I'd rather hold on to it. What are you gonna do about it?
Do me a favor, Kaliva. Can't you and your bunch of knucklehead bros try acting normal for a change?
Oh, please, don't tell me you came all this way expecting to do honest business with a thief. Or did you genuinely think I just handed over on a silver platter?
Feels like this negotiation went south before it even got started.
My bad, Kaliva. Shouldn't have tried dealing with you the way Boss Neff does. A fist to the face is the only way to negotiate with morons like you. Come on, Traveler. Let's drop these punks together.
Looking down on us, huh? Come on, boys. Time to put this little squirt back in her place.
You're not going anywhere. Go Claw!
It all adds up.
Was it done?
Lash attack!
That was...
Smash and grab!
Okay! You win.
See? If you just played along earlier, you wouldn't have ended up in this mess. Now, take the Mora and go find yourself a decent doctor.
Is this your way of showing pity?
Save your breath and just take the Mora. If you'd rather chuck it in the water or hire thugs to jump me, that's your call. One thing's for sure, though. Going hungry and getting beaten up both suck. Don't make things worse for yourself, Kaliva.
The junk I snatched from that invalid is lying over there. Aside from some spare change, it was just a painting and some busted doll. The Mora's long gone, but I haven't had time to toss the rest out yet.
All right. Final question. You referred to Ihanti as an invalid just now. What was that supposed to mean?
It means exactly what it means. That weakling's in such a state now, you can barely tell he's still alive. When I first found him, he was lying there, stiff as a board. I honestly thought he'd already... you know. Anyway, figured he didn't need his bag any longer, so I snagged it.
Mark out the spot where you last saw him.
Where I last saw him? Guess it was about... here.
All right. Traveler, Paimon, let's go. I'd like to return this stuff to the client in person.
You're a real piece of work, Jahoda. Know that? Scary smart one moment, unbelievably naive the next.
Who's there? I don't have any more, nothing at all. If you're here for my life, just go ahead and take it.
I've brought your stuff back, Ihanti.
Jahoda! Is that you? I can hear your voice, but I can't see clearly anymore.
It's me, Ihanti. And I'm standing right here in front of you. Why didn't you come find me? You look terrible.
Even a starving stray doesn't wander into a rich man's city. Not after all the beatings it's taken.
I'm not that kind of person. And Boss Neff isn't either.
All the more reason why I couldn't come find you. If folks got wind that you were the type to lend a hand, they'd come banging on your door day after day.
No one would be crazy enough to pull a stunt like that with the boss.
But you're always out there secretly doing good, only to be stabbed in the back by the very people you helped.
Hey, I've learned a lot from Boss Neff, you know. No one's gonna get me good like that. Ever again.
You just can't stop yourself from watching out for other people, can you, Jahoda?
That's my business. And no one else's.
Maybe that's why the boss thinks so highly of you.
Maybe. It's the only reason I'm even still alive.
You're right, Jahoda. You're right.
Anyway, if there's something I can do for you, Ihanti, now's the time to tell me.
Still the same as ever, huh? What if this was all just a big scam, or I was luring you into some kind of trap?
You wouldn't do that. Not after how long we've known each other.
And that's enough to win your trust?
Come on, look at the state you're in. How could you possibly threaten me?
Finally. We're getting somewhere. Do me a favor, then. roll up the painting in that bag and slip it into my pocket. I haven't the strength to pick it up myself. I painted this with my wife and daughter. It's the only thing I still care about in the whole wide world. As far as I'm concerned, nothing else matters anymore.
The old you would be in stitches hearing you say that.
And what happened to those things I once treasured above all else? They could save neither my wife nor my life. But maybe that's just the fate of a thief. Everything we steal always gets stolen back, and we wind up empty-handed again eventually. That pendant I put up for the commission was all I had left.
That was the first piece of jewelry you ever stole. You must have told me the story a dozen times. How you even pulled it off, and the look on the rich guy's face when he found out.
Yeah. Anyway, it's yours now.
Who did it belong to?
A Snezhnayan called Halamov. He used to live in Nodkrai, but he's probably run home to Snezhnaya by now.
I'm not a thief anymore. And I'm not about to start hanging on to stolen goods either. This pendant should go back to its rightful owner.
You really are something else, Jahoda. The boss was right. Someone like you could never hack it as a thief.
Enough. Stop wasting your breath. I'll head back and find you a doctor.
Forget it. Just let me go the way I'm meant to.
But...
Jahoda, you know the boss's code.
Grant rest to those who seek it.
You know what I'm talking about. So, leave me in peace.
Fine.
I'm glad it was you who came to help me, Jahoda. Sorry I don't have any treasure to give you. But if you want, you can have this doll.
Wait, but I thought I told you to...
Don't worry. I made this one myself. The ones you put together are long gone. I burned every last one of them, just like you told me. Not too shabby, huh? Especially for someone who was already on the brink of going blind. Take it, Jahoda. Consider it my final gift.
I'll come back to see you.
Go now. Farewell, Jahoda. Thank you. You're right, boss. Looks like there's no escape for the wicked after all.
Excellent. Looks like you've completed the commission. Please bear with me while I fetch your payment. Is everything okay, Miss Jahoda? You seem a little pale. You didn't run into any trouble, did you?
Don't worry. I'm fine.
Very well, then. One moment. I'll be back with your payment right away.
Oh, Paimon knows we promised not to call a doctor, but Ihanti really did look awful back there. Maybe we should...
No. I said I'd stick to the code. So that's what I'll do. We used to be colleagues. Coward, he may be, but when it came to raking in the Mora, Ihanti was top shelf. While everyone else was out there pulling dumb scams and petty robberies, he played the game so well that people would end up willingly coughing up the cash. He had a real knack for talking people into things. Back when we were working together, he shared a lot of his skills with me. He was always taking me out for great meals, too. A friend? Course not. You'd have to be crazy to try making friends in that hellhole. At best, we knew each other. The only reason he took such good care of me was to show off. Dragging a little sidekick along made him feel like a big shot, I guess. But he did look after me. I'll give him that. Helping him now is just me returning the favor.
All right. Here is your payment, Miss Jahoda. The Adventurers Guild thanks you for your support.
Here's your share, traveler. Thanks for the help back there. Anyway, I should head back to the curatorium. If the boss wants something done and I'm not there, she'll be on my case again for sure. I did say I wouldn't get him a doctor, but what's the harm in grabbing him some painkillers? I'll ask the boss to help. I'm sure she can pull some strings. Worst case scenario, I'll give up this month's pay. Actually, maybe just half of it. Yeah, I'll do that. I'd better get the medicine to Ihanti tomorrow. Ihanti! Ihanti! Ihan... Oh no. Rest in peace, Ihanti. One thing's for sure. That fate of yours isn't gonna get me. Not yet, anyway.
Huh. Looks like Jahoda's not back yet. Wait here. I'll go brew some tea.
Who's a good kitty? Come on, shake.
All right, help yourselves. Cream and sugar is over there if you need it. Looks like Ashrew's taken a real liking to you. Back when I first brought him home, he was as fierce as a little lion. He didn't let anyone get close except for me. Anybody else who tried would have his little fangs and claws to contend with.
Seriously? You'd never guess he used to be aggressive.
That was a long time ago, when the two of us had just arrived in Nodcry. Back then, we had no one to rely on but ourselves. And to survive in a place like Nodcry, we had no choice but to bare our claws and teeth. Of course, things are different now. Anyway, it's about time we satisfied that curiosity of yours. I'm guessing you want to know more about my long-term partnership with the Adventurers Guild?
You mean like some kind of extra special treasure even Nefer can't get her hands on?
It's special, no doubt about that. But whether it counts as treasure, well, that depends on how you see it. Here, this is the book I asked the Adventurers Guild to find for me. Take a look.
Oh, it's like a fairy tale from Sumeru. Uh-oh, not another riddle-filled treasure hunt. Well, have fun. Paimon's gonna sit this one out.
Relax. It's just a story passed down among the desert dwellers of Sumeru. There's no secret treasure and no hidden riddles. The only reason I went to such lengths to find it is because it has to do with my father. That's right. From what you've seen before, you no doubt remember the fate that befell us before he brought back those so-called spoils of war, before our little village ended up buried under the desert sands. He used to tell me stories. You know what Sumeru was like back then. Tales like these, stories full of wisdom and warmth, were something only the lucky few living in the rainforests got to hear. But for the desert dwellers, cut off from civilization by the wall of Samiel, wisdom and warmth were luxuries we couldn't afford. The stories passed down in the desert had one purpose and one alone: to teach children how to survive. In desert tales, people who waste food get turned into scorpions. Those who waste water end up losing their tongues. The stories taught us to be kind, but to be scarce with our trust. To lie and deceive as long as we didn't get caught. But I suppose my father didn't want me to turn out like everyone else. He would take these stories and change them, imbue them with more warmth. In the versions he told, liars turned into mules, killers fell off cliffs, but picky children ended up with a toothache at most.
Paimon kinda gets where he was coming from. After all, who doesn't want to see their kids grow up with the right values?
Me? I couldn't get enough of them. I spend my days counting down the minutes to nightfall, when Dad would lull me to sleep with another one of his stories. Then, come daytime, I'd grab his storybook and go tell them to the other kids. They were so envious of me. No matter where I went, there was always a line of kids trailing behind me. They would do whatever I asked, just for the chance to hear a story. And then, one day, it all came to an end. And now, all that remains of those times is buried under the sand. My father, my friends, my tribe. After that, I went to the academia. It was there that I first discovered the original versions of some of his stories. In those versions, the liars were never punished. The murderers walked free. After all, if you fall for a lie, you deserve to be deceived. If the blade is in your hand, you get to write the rules. And picky children? They ended up just like the ones who wasted water, turned into lizards, doomed to spend the rest of their days crawling under the rocks. Only then did I realize that it was my father who'd been deceiving me all along, weaving a false world of warmth to shelter me from the harsh realities of the world. But once my father was gone, that world collapsed with him, and I had no choice but to face the truth. Luckily, though, I was a quick learner. Before long, I'd turned into exactly the kind of desert dweller he'd worked so hard to keep me from becoming. After that, it was all lies, deceit, revenge, and ruin. Themes that have played out in the desert 1,000 times over. But I'm sure you know that all too well. More or less. I just want to know exactly how many lies a father might tell his own daughter. As the only person in this world he ever deceived so completely, I suppose I owe it to him to make an equally comprehensive record of his distortions. Besides, Anonymity seems a cruel fate for such a prolific twister of the truth. Anyway, I'm sure Thoth, the Ibis King, would approve of what I'm doing. After all, he was the one who sent me in search of something that could discern truth from falsehood. When I was young, the stories my father told me shaped my understanding of the world. Whereas their original endings, well, they taught me what this world is really like. And it's true. For me, they really did help me discern truth from falsehood. I figured that gathering them up might be the key to finding the answer the Ibis King was looking for. So, after I established myself in Nodcry, I started using every available channel to track down the stories my father once told me. The problem was, nearly all of them were folk tales, parables passed down in the desert through word of mouth. Very few were ever written down. But living all the way out here in Nodcry, it wasn't like I could just go wandering around the desert to find those who still remembered them. As for Jahoda, well, I was short on manpower as it was, so I needed a different plan. And considering the countless adventurers at their disposal, I decided to strike up a long-term partnership with the Adventurers Guild. They bring me stories passed down among the desert people. I pay them accordingly, and sometimes even do them a little favor in return. Mr. Sauron was more than happy with my terms, so we soon came to an understanding. And from the way things have been going, I'd say our arrangement has worked out rather well. Well, this was the very last story my father ever told me. The only one whose ending he left unchanged. A man who spent his life distorting the truth, buried under the desert sand the one time he chose not to lie. And look, it even says, deep down, his was a heart of gold. And that is the greatest wisdom of all. How ironic is that? Anyway, I can make a copy of this story if you're interested. And I just realized, you're an adventurer too, aren't you, traveler? Well, being an adventurer means you've traveled far and wide, and seen many things. I was just thinking, we could sign an agreement for a long-term partnership of our own. If you ever come across any stories about the desert dwellers of Sumeru, bring them to me, and I'll make it worth your while.
Wait, was that your goal this whole time? Just to ask us that?
Wonderful. Then here's to a long and fruitful partnership. And speaking of partnerships, why isn't Jahoda back yet? Was that job I gave her really that difficult?